100% Chelsea. Chelsea won, Huddersfield won. Chelsea Football Club are currently on the brink of their first ever full-time campaign in Europa League football. Cheers, lads. Thanks for that. Inconsistent, lacklustre, lazy. Now, Liverpool was great. Everyone says that. I get that. Played fucking brilliantly that game. Everyone gives you a round of applause for it. Tonight, where was the drive? Huddersfield have come up and fighting for their lives, realistically. Fighting for their lives to stay in the Premier League. Now, in terms of that, they beat Manchester United. They got a draw with Manchester City. And we came in to play them like we were children. Petulant, incompetent. This is clearly a good team. So hats off to them today because they did what they needed to do. The referee, on the other hand, well, there's clearly a reason why there's no English referees at the World Cup this year. Kind of just summarised, really, in one performance for both teams, not just Chelsea, but decisions cost us opportunities. We should have had a penalty. There were times where Huddersfield players went off long ways rather than going off to the close side of the pitch where they should do. A yellow card which was pointless in the 88th minute, given to keeper for time wasting after several occasions of doing so. And that is simply only one of the reasons why we're not getting Europa League this year. That's just one occasion. Now let's go and dissect the whole situation, shall we? Let's do that, shall we? That'll be fun. Now, I think people will remember Watford and Bournemouth and my reaction and Lewis's reaction. Yeah, you're going to see pretty much exactly the same thing. This team didn't show up. They only pushed when they went 1-0 down. Now, Chelsea fans, and the way I've been raised as being a Chelsea fan by my dad, who's been coming for nearly 40 or 50 years now, you always support the team and you always give 100% when they're giving 100%. And you back them, which is exactly what I do. I don't back them when they don't give 100%. Alvaro Morata, get out. Simple as that. I don't care if you only had if you've had one bad season. People saying, give him another chance, please. Oh, he'll be really good. He'll come good next year. When he's injured, I think if people saw his Instagram, the pitch could have been taken another time. That point was raised to me. Thank you for raising that, Lewis. When he was injured 3 days ago for Liverpool, he was actually in Spain. Just having a little break because he deserves that. He's worked so hard this year, hasn't he? He's had a back injury. I understand that. If he had a back injury, instead of coming out and chatting shit and saying and doing the whole media training nonsense of, I had a back injury. I'm not happy with my performance. My wife was having a go at me as well. No, okay, that's great, mate. Realistically, then use your brain, and you wouldn't be in this situation. It's as simple as that. If you were injured, realistically, you should have said, "I'm injured. I'm going to go off, get myself sorted, come back fitter and stronger." Time after time this season, Alvaro Morata has missed open goals and open opportunities. And he potentially, if he hadn't been trying to be fancy and had just smashed the ball, like a centre-forward should, when you paid them 70 million, then potentially we could be talking about saying we're going to the final day. We might still be able to get Champions League football. We might be able to be saying that. But guess what? We're not. Because he was too busy fanning about and screwing up the situations. Now, let's move on to the rest of the stuff. Antonio Conte. Now, people raised the in-out question today. If there is someone better available, please let yourself known, because Antonio Conte clearly doesn't want to be here. Why rotate the team like you did today when we're pushing for European football in the top table? Pushing for European football. Why did you make those changes when realistically we could still be pushing for it? These are players that are built. The professional athletes should be able to play 2 games a week. If they're playing that top level, they should be prepared to do that. which is what half that squad is capable of, clearly, or isn't. So Antonio Conte, yet again, got the substitutions wrong, doesn't have a plan B, and right now, for me, I think there needs to be a change. It almost felt like this whole season, there are times when we could have been making substitutions earlier on and changing games, but he hasn't been doing it. It's almost like he's been sitting there doing a full-on hot fuzz going, no thanks Chelsea, you screwed me over in the transfer window, lads. Not going to have any of that. Brilliant. It's great, isn't it? Look, we all understood beginning of the season and in January when you were saying, I don't have the squad, I need to develop a squad. You were making your point clear so you would get backing from the board. Understandably, the board is also to blame for this situation because of their lack of transfer activity and their lack of motivation to get the players. This. I could go for hours about this, but I won't. I can't keep it sweet because Josh, our cameraman, wants to go home. But realistically, Antonio Conte right now just doesn't care, can't be bothered. And if that's the case, then listen, you've done wonders for this club, absolute wonders. You won us a league last year, and we will forever be grateful for what you've done. I personally will be as well. I'm not slagging him off anyway, saying he's a rubbish manager because he's clearly shown that he's good and capable of doing a job. But right now, he clearly doesn't want to be here. It's not the same man that we had last year, running up and down the touchline, bringing us together with the team again, bringing that passion, that rawness that would bring whole stadiums and turn it into a fortress, like just a bastion. You'd see it, and those walls up there at the beginning of the season, champions. You could say that with pride. You beat your chest, and you'd sit there and go, yeah, we're brilliant. But now that's faltered away, and players just don't seem to be bothered in getting and what they need to do. And realistically, it's just an incredibly disappointing season. We are where we deserve to be. We've not been good enough. And unfortunately, it's just not where we want to be anymore. But let's move on to what's happened now. So this game, we were supposed to be getting a lap of appreciation. I didn't stay because I was that angry and that livid at how little the players gave tonight. We had to wait. We had to call to get Hazard on, and we had to push for the game when we went 1-0 down. And look, we didn't get it. But 3 players, I heard, sat in the centre circle, and actually felt that they looked like they felt all 4. They looked like they let everyone down. Olivier Giroud, Gary Cahill, Eden Hazard, and Cesar Azpilicueta. Players that clearly do care about this club and have won stuff and achieved. They then did a lap of honour in the centre circle because they clearly didn't have the bollocks to go and say sorry to the 42,000 people, well, probably about the 2,000 or 3,000 that were left, for what we've seen. A team that's gone from champions to Europa League football. Now, people may say I'm ungrateful. People may say that we're rude and all of that. I've paid over £3,000 to follow my team this year, as has Lewis, as has Chris, as have many other people that have done that. That's a lot of fucking money. I'm guessing, Chris has definitely done over 3K. I'm thinking in terms of travel, in terms of food, in terms of tickets, in terms of all the other stuff. Definitely thousands of pounds have been spent by football fans to see that. I am disgusted. I'm disgraced at the fact that these players think that is good enough. Quick whip round, 3 minutes in the centre circle and fuck off back home. That stadium and the people that are in it, they've got a badge on their shirt. Lewis is holding the light right now, so I won't do it, but he's got a badge on his shirt right there. Ben's wearing a T-shirt which says, up the Chelsea, your town, your pub, your ends, and you wear that with pride. We wear, whether we're wearing a Chelsea shirt or not, we still come here every week with pride. Because this is the team that we support. And as soon as Chelsea players put on that shirt, you fucking buck your ideas up. Chelsea players who wear that shirt, you go and you give 100%. This rolls back to what I was saying earlier. We support the team when you're given, and you support the team yourselves as well. You go on that pitch, you spit blood, you break bones, you fall apart, you're tired, your legs don't work anymore. That's what it should be for a football fan, or a football player, sorry. Chris has come out. He hasn't got a voice. He hasn't got a voice because he was that passionate in the stands, as were so many others, including myself. I'm lucky my voice hasn't gone. Might be gone tomorrow, who knows. But realistically, it's ridiculous. The under-18s, players that should be given opportunities as a club, clearly we don't have a philosophy. You sit there and you have this argument, you say, what's Chelsea's philosophy right now? And people say, selling players and making profit. No, that's not what we mean by philosophy. You talk about playing style, you talk about what is Chelsea's known for years. That's the difference. That's the mentality, anyway, in my opinion. That's what it should be. It shouldn't be kicking yourself and kicking bottles and shit like Alvaro Morata did at Burnley, or getting really pissed off like he did with the linesman when he wasn't doing anything and clearly wasn't giving 100%. Because if you gave 100%, you don't go into the dressing room after that display, which is guaranteed as Europa League football, and basically go, I'm going to collect my thoughts, then I'm going to come back out. No, you sit in that circle. Because if you gave 100%, you would have been terrified to face those fans. You'd have been terrified. But clearly, this is how it feels to me anyway, and I'd love to know if there was anything otherwise. Players just do not give a shit. That's just how it feels, personally. And look, if any players were to have a conversation with fans and talk to us and say they did, then that's fine. I'd love to sit and have a conversation with a player. And I understand I'm being extremely, extremely savage right now. But kind of needs to be done, doesn't it? If you spend thousands of pounds and by the end of the season gone to 53 games. Burnley is an example, got up at 9 a.m. on the match day. No, sorry, 7 a.m. on the match day. Got back at 5 a.m. the following day. 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. Jesus, 22 hours to watch a fucking football game. Wow. I mean, I'd love for a player to have a conversation with us, honestly. I would really love that. But I doubt it'll happen. But honestly, for me, if the under-18s can do a lap of honour when they don't have a trophy, when they have the trophy regardless, they want to quadruple this year, use some of the youth, just ongoing argument. Charlie Morris potentially come in if we need to use him as a manager. Carlo Ancelotti, there's loads of stuff that can be said about this. But right now, honestly, I just need to go to bed, as does everyone here. So collect our thoughts, go to sleep, and tackle the next day. But yeah, other than that, guys, please make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea. All social media links down in the description: Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you for watching and following us this season. If you've been at any of the home games, obviously this is the last one of the season. Thank you for coming to speak to us after games. We appreciate it. So you guys so much, because you've basically built this channel to what it is. And honestly, it's a absolute privilege to be able to hold this microphone and speak to you guys after games. And listen, we will always be here, win, lose or draw. 100% Chelsea are what they say on the tin. We care, we'll always be there, no matter what. And we'll see you guys at Newcastle. Subscribe, follow us on socials, follow my personal socials if you want to have a chat with me. And I'll see you very soon. Take care.
Up the arse.